In nature, the giving and receiving of sexual pleasure has many benefits. It helps to diffuse hostility, encourage cooperation, and build alliances, whether the context is heterosexual or homosexual.
And that physical contact isn't limited, of course, to genital contact. There's a lot of grooming that goes on, a lot of very close physical togetherness, and it's by being together physically very close that they can work together. And you don't get team play without very close coordination.
Human sexuality is infinitely more complex. We have culture, religion, civilization. We have to resolve the conflict between our natural urges and the rules. Fascinating, though, is how much the rules and the ways we deal with them vary across time and place. An Indian wedding. The crowd celebrates the arrival of the groom.
I think in most traditional cultures, weddings are a physical release of all the social pressures that you live under in day-to-day life. People who are from the low middle class, working class environment work 12, 14 hours a day. There is no privacy, there's no space, there's no ability to be yourself. It's a life of conformity, where you have to conform to the social rules and the family rules and obligations. A wedding is a way of release. Marriage is central to the society and to the social rules. Without marriage, you are nothing. Without marriage and without a male son, you have no real social role. To become an adult, you become married and you produce children. Marriages tend to be family marriages. These are not two independent people seeking love and desire and affection between each other. These are two families who negotiate a contract. Inside marriage, there's very little affection between husband and wife. Between husband and male friend, there's a lot more affection. We live in a culture which is homosocial, focused around male bonding. You see a lot of this in all across South Asia, where two men holding hands and casually put their arms around there. And the affection is between two males, not between a man and a woman.
The point was made startlingly clear at this wedding. While the bride and groom sat shyly center stage, there was dancing off to the left. But only boys with boys, not a girl in sight.
A wedding gives an opportunity for that male bonding to go on, the sort of bump and grind of the dance and the eroticization of that space.
Behavior we soon discovered that is culturally acceptable, though seldom talked about.
The weddings are some of the best places to cruise for other men, to cruise for sex with other men. According to them, it's not sex, it's play, it's not real, it's a sort of fantasy. And the discharge is just that tension release. Male's first sexual contact tends to be another male, not a female, because they don't have access to females. Young men don't know anything about women's bodies, and young women don't know anything about male bodies. And if you don't know anything about each other, how the blazes are you going to have a fulfilling sexual relationship or love affair?
The arranged marriage can have painful outcomes. It has for Asha, a very traditional Hindu wife who, like millions of women all over the world, was married to a man she didn't know, her husband, Vijay. The couple share this home with Vijay's mother, sister, and brother-in-law. There's no privacy here, and Asha performs the role that society expects of her in full view of the neighbors. But her husband, Vijay, lives a double life. In the evening, he sets off for his second home, where Nasim, another married man, is waiting for him.
There are plenty of people who live double lives and cannot tell anyone. My wife doesn't know. My mother knows but prefers not to. I only got married because of the pressure from the family. I didn't want to. I was already in a relationship with Nasim. We've been together for 11 years now, and we married each other in a Muslim ceremony and a Hindu ceremony. Because he is Muslim, I am Hindu.
Our problem is that we're afraid of society, of pressure from relatives. I'm torn. I want to spend time with my children, and I want to be with Vijay as well.
But your wives, this isn't fair to them.
No, it's not fair to my wife. It's not fair to either of us. We were forced into this. And I feel very troubled because I can't give her the things that a loving husband should.